In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, National Assembly debates draft of revised public investment law. Vietnam-UAE Forum explores ways to stimulate bilateral investments. China unveils new policy measures to boost birth support.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is currently 8 a.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now on Tuesday afternoon, the National Assembly held group discussions on the amended draft law on public investment, the law on securities, and several other bills as part of their ongoing 8th session. More in the following.
On the revised public investment bill, many delegates expressed strong support for the 5 policy groups proposed by the government, aimed at refining institutions and promptly addressing development bottlenecks.
I support the government's proposal to separate site clearance from the project investment approval process, ensuring that funding for site clearance is allocated independently. I also request that the government study and outline the basis, order, and procedures for implementing this to ensure the provision's feasibility.
Supporting this amendment, some delegates suggested decentralizing the decision-making authority and clearly defining the process to separate site clearance into its own project.
I support the government's proposal to allow the separation of resettlement compensation into independent projects. However, I suggest adding a provision that enables the agency responsible for project investment to decide whether or not to separate based on the specific situation.
In the old law, it stated that separation could be submitted for approval if deemed necessary. Now, while separation is permitted, it still includes the phrase, "in case of necessity." It is important to clarify what constitutes a necessary case.
Some delegates suggested including regulations for streamlined procedures for small-scale projects aimed at supporting community development.
Resettlement projects should include regulations for simplified procedures. Specifically, revising these procedures will reduce investment disbursement times. I recommend that this be added, with Article 5 assigning the government the task of providing specific guidelines.
Regarding the draft amendments to the securities law, some delegates proposed strengthening the accountability of auditors, inspectors, and examiners to enhance market transparency. On the same day, delegates also discussed several other legislative items, including laws on accounting, independent auditing, state budget, management and use of public assets, tax administration, and national reserves.
The National Assembly's Standing Committee has announced an upcoming session where 3 critical fields, healthcare, banking, and information technology, will be addressed by key Vietnamese ministers in a scheduled Q&A on November the 11th to the 12th. The Governor of the State Bank of Vietnam, the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Information and Communications will respond to questions on these issues. Additionally, Deputy Prime Ministers and the Ministers of Planning and Investment, Finance, Industry and Trade, and Agriculture and Rural Development will also participate in answering and clarifying related matters. At a working session with the Party Central Committee's Commission for Information and Education on Tuesday afternoon, Party General Secretary Tho Lam emphasized the need for innovation in communication and education. He stressed that these efforts must meet real-world requirements and effectively address current issues as the country enters a new era.
The Commission has played an active role in advising the Party's Central Committee on issuing resolutions, directives, conclusions, and regulations. Additionally, it has contributed to implementing the party's foreign policy throughout the entire political system, leveraging the party's foreign affairs, state diplomacy, and people-to-people exchanges to ensure the country's and its people's interests and prosperity. Speaking at the meeting, Party General Secretary To Lam praised the achievements of the Commission for Information and Education and related departments, acknowledging their joint efforts in contributing to the country's development. While commending these accomplishments, Party General Secretary To Lam also pointed out several issues that need to be addressed.
According to statistics, misinformation and disinformation account for about 1% of total information on social media. However, they have a significant negative impact on society as they are created and spread deliberately every day. To protect people against disinformation, you need to have more radical solutions. You must be sincere and practical in your approach to gain citizens' trust and enhance the quality and efficiency of communication efforts.
Party General Secretary To Lam added that the Commission should mobilize the participation of press and media agencies to improve the quality and efficiency of communication work. Additionally, the Commission should work closely with these agencies to provide people with accurate information in real time.
Party committees at all levels, socio-political organizations, and all party members should work together to improve the effectiveness of communication. Success will be the result of all sectors pulling together to meet common goals. Therefore, we need to mobilize the collective efforts of all ministries and departments in the government apparatus.
Party General Secretary To Lam urged the Commission for Information and Education to improve the quality of human resources. He emphasized that the government officials and public sector employees should be fully aware of their responsibilities and demonstrate an unwavering commitment to serving the country and its people.
During his official visit to the UAE, Prime Minister Phie held talks with Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE. The UAE leader congratulated Vietnam on its rapid development across various sectors. Prime Minister Phie conveyed the greetings of Vietnamese leaders, shared insights from his successful meeting with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and extended invitations from General Secretary To Lam and State President Lương Cường for a future visit to Vietnam. The discussions focused on 5 key areas of cooperation, including raising bilateral trade to over $20 billion and enhancing collaboration in digital transformation, innovation, and cultural tourism. Following the talks, both leaders witnessed the signing of the Vietnam-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which marks the first free trade agreement between Vietnam and an Arab nation. This agreement, negotiated in record time, highlights the strong commitment of both countries to enhance economic cooperation and create new opportunities for Vietnam in the Middle East market. Also on the same day, Prime Minister Phie met with the UAE National Security Advisor, the UAE Minister of Industry and High Technology, the Director of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, and the CEO of Mubadala Investment Group. During these meetings, the Prime Minister emphasized the need for both sides to leverage time and intelligence to promptly implement initiatives that will realize the Comprehensive Partnership and the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, ensuring mutual benefits for both countries.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh commended the National Security Advisor's crucial role in maintaining security, ensuring social order, and fostering development, innovation, and prosperity in the UAE, especially in Abu Dhabi. He proposed enhancing security cooperation, exploring potential collaboration in technology and science for crime prevention, and strengthening efforts to combat human trafficking and share information on criminal activities. Zayed Al Nahyan emphasized the importance of the Vietnamese leader's official visit to the UAE, affirming that UAE leaders value bilateral cooperation and hope to promote it further by implementing new cooperative projects in the near future.
During a meeting with Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, the UAE Minister of Industry and High Technology, and the General Director of the UAE National Oil and Gas Group conveyed the UAE President's satisfaction with their constructive discussions. Recognizing the immense potential for cooperation in science, technology, and energy between Vietnam and the UAE, the Prime Minister urged the UAE Ministry of Industry and High Technology and UAE enterprises to enhance collaboration through specific projects. He also highlighted Vietnam's ongoing efforts to improve its institutions and legal framework to create favorable conditions for foreign investors.
The Prime Minister next met with the director of the Abu Dhabi National Investment Fund, which manages approximately $830 billion and is the fourth largest investment fund in the world. He noted that Vietnam has issued a national list of projects seeking foreign investment, inviting the fund to review and consider investing in key national initiatives. Additionally, he highlighted the potential for cooperation on major projects, including large airports, seaports, and the North-South High-Speed Railway, which has an estimated cost of $67 billion. The director of the Abu Dhabi National Investment Fund expressed strong support for these ideas and stated that the fund is eager to implement the Prime Minister's proposals.
During a meeting with the CEO of Mubadala Group, the world's largest state investment fund, with around $300 billion in assets, and the UAE Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, the Prime Minister encouraged Mubadala to enhance its investment activities in Vietnam. He urged the group to facilitate investments in key areas, including strategic infrastructure, traditional and renewable energy, semiconductor chips, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the development of international financial centers. The CEO acknowledged Vietnam's importance in Asia and expressed strong interest in cooperating, especially in infrastructure and energy. The group plans to send a working delegation to Vietnam soon with specific project proposals.
During his official visit to the United Arab Emirates, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the Vietnam-UAE Business Forum in Dubai, one of the world's leading economic and financial centers.
At the forum, the chairman of the Dubai Chamber of Commerce praised Vietnam's dynamic economy, strategic location, and key partnership with the UAE. The UAE Minister of State for Foreign Trade called Vietnam an ideal partner with strong market potential and the fastest growth rate in ASEAN. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh emphasized the importance of upgrading Vietnam-UAE relations to a comprehensive partnership and signing the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to boost cooperation in trade, investment, and business. The Prime Minister urged businesses to deepen investment cooperation, highlighting Vietnam's focus on attracting selective foreign investment in areas such as technology, green and digital economies, renewable energy, financial hubs in Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang, and strategic infrastructure.
We have a valuable opportunity for our two economies to connect, foster mutual growth, and address each other's needs. For instance, the UAE excels in services and modern development trends but faces a labor shortage, while Vietnam, with its population of over 100 million and a young workforce, can provide strong human resources. By combining the talents of our people with the experience, investment capital, and strong ties between our countries, we can create products and results that benefit both nations. This collaboration will promote economic development across the Middle East and Southeast Asia, strengthen friendship, and contribute to a peaceful, cooperative, and prosperous global environment.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh invited UAE businesses to invest in Vietnam, emphasizing a spirit of mutual benefit and shared risks. He assured that Vietnam would provide favorable conditions, stability, and support for sustainable, long-term business ventures. The Prime Minister also guaranteed sufficient infrastructure to support economic growth. During the event, he witnessed the signing of 10 agreements between Vietnamese and UAE companies. These agreements included Vingroup's commitments to projects in data centers, seaports, logistics, and electric vehicles, TNT Group's investments in banking, agriculture, and energy, and a partnership between Vietjet and Emirates Airlines to expand international connectivity, aimed at boosting trade and tourism between the two nations. Receiving Arif Amiri, Chief Executive Officer of the Dubai International Financial Center Authority, in Dubai on October 28 afternoon, local time, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh spoke highly of the DIFC, one of the world's leading financial centers. He has suggested the Dubai International Financial Center, DIFC, cooperate with Vietnam in developing financial services and supporting the development of the Ho Chi Minh City Financial Center. For his part, Arif Amiri showed his willingness to share experience in building a financial center. On this occasion, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh visited the 7-story, 77-meter-high Museum of the Future, an iconic new landmark in Dubai.
On October the 28th, 2024, Vietnam and the UAE officially upgraded their relations to a comprehensive partnership during Prime Minister Pham Minh Ching's visit to the UAE. This partnership builds on the strong ties established since diplomatic relations began in 1993, focusing on enhancing collaboration in various fields such as foreign affairs, defense, security, economics, and trade. Both countries committed to actively implementing the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, to boost bilateral trade and investment, particularly in energy, technology, and agriculture. They also agreed to strengthen socio-cultural ties through tourism, education, and people-to-people exchanges, including cooperation in vocational training and healthcare expertise. This joint statement underscores the importance of mutual respect, cooperation, and shared interests for both nations' development and regional stability. Coming up next on VTV News. Residents in Guangbing's worst-hit areas suffer massive damage from severe flooding. And later on, Trash to Art transform waste to promote a sustainable and green Gondao archipelago.
When it comes to business, it's crucial to choose a smart location with global impact. And Vietnam might just be the location for you. Connect worldwide to advanced logistics networks. Smart Hub for technology and innovation. A dynamic business ecosystem. An environment with a competitive edge.
Moving on to other important updates, Typhoon Trami has caused significant damage to several central provinces, including Guangxi and Thừa Thiên Huế. Local authorities are actively working to recover and stabilize the affected areas. In Lập An Lagoon, Phú Lộc District, Thừa Thiên Huế, the typhoon nearly destroyed thousands of fish farming cages belonging to over 100 households. Additionally, more than 1,200 hectares of forest were affected, with about 350 hectares completely uprooted. Along Lăng Cô Beach, many tourism restaurants were also damaged. The local government is currently focused on clearing roads and infrastructure to help residents return to normalcy as soon as possible. Prolonged heavy rains triggered by tropical typhoon Trami have caused severe flooding in Guangbing province, submerging tens of thousands of homes, isolating villages, and forcing mass evacuations as water levels nearly reach rooftops. Residents are facing difficulties as floodwaters submerge more than 80 locations along the province roadways.
Floodwaters in Cam Thuy Commune, Lệ Thủy district have reached rooftop levels, causing widespread damage. Thảo and her family are now staying at a neighbor's house temporarily. She burst into tears when she realized many valuable assets in her home were submerged.
All building materials were moved to higher ground, but they have been submerged or swept away, including 3 tons of cement and steel.
Severe flooding has submerged nearly 33,000 houses in Guangbing province. Lệ Thủy is the most affected district with nearly 20,000 flooded homes. Authorities have implemented response measures to protect residents' lives.
We have deployed about 1,800 volunteer response teams and 520 boats to evacuate residents as quickly as possible, but we have still provided food and necessities for affected residents.
The full cost of the destruction from severe flooding has yet to be estimated as heavy rainfall continues in the region. Local authorities are calling for community support to help affected people overcome the flood's aftermath and stabilize their lives as soon as possible.
Many low-lying areas along the Gyeongsang River in Guangbing province remain flooded, with water levels reaching emergency alert status. Forecasts predict that by tomorrow afternoon, the flood level at Lệ Thủy will still be about 30 centimeters above alert level 3. Flooding is expected to persist for the next 2 days in the low-lying regions of Lệ Thủy District, Quảng Ninh and Đồng Hới City. Rainfall is anticipated from the night of October the 29th to the morning of October the 30th, with some areas from Nghệ An to Quảng Ngãi potentially experiencing over 150 millimeters of rain. There is a risk of further flooding in low-lying areas, flash floods, and landslides in mountainous regions. The Ho Chi Minh City Police reported uncovering a foreign individual illegally transporting diamonds through Tân Sơn Nhất International Airport for resale to local vendors. On October the 23rd, authorities inspected and found an Indian national who had entered Vietnam via Tân Sơn Nhất Airport, carrying over 700 natural and synthetic diamonds, estimated to be worth tens of millions of US dollars. The police are currently expanding their investigation to track down all individuals involved. Thanks to significant advancements in research and application, stem cells have opened new opportunities for treating various diseases in Vietnam. This was the statement made by a representative from the Ministry of Health at a seminar organized by Mekostem Stem Cell Bank. Globally, stem cell technology also contributes to drug research and immunotherapy for cancer treatment. The establishment and development of stem cell banks represent a strategic move that allows Vietnam to keep pace with advanced global technologies. Experts have also proposed several measures to promote more comprehensive development in stem cell research and application. They emphasize the need for policies that encourage financial collaboration between the public and private sector to expedite the practical application of research findings. At the end of each year, seasonal winds wash ashore waves of waste, mostly plastic, on the Con Đảo archipelago. To preserve the island's natural beauty, Trash to Art volunteers collaborate with locals and tourists to collect and upcycle this ocean waste into eco-friendly products.
Every Sunday, we meet up to clean a beach and sort the trash we collect. Recyclable items like buoys, bottles, and ropes are set aside to take back, while non-recyclables go into bags for public waste collection. Surprisingly, much of this waste can be reused. Take this buoy, for example. I'm repainting it for decoration. Or these small bits of netting. We've gathered enough to make a net bag. And here's a rope. Cute, right? Perfect for decor.
In 2023, the Con Đảo National Tourism Area Management with Phie turned a vacant 2,000-meter-square lot near the Border Guard and Binh Dum Bay into the Revival Zone, an ocean plastic recycling education and check-in spot decorated with salvaged items like buoys, bottles, and driftwood.
The activities in Typhoon Zone are exactly what we want, not only reuse material, but also always try to upcycle it by changing it in a way that it can be improved and it can be even better than the original product.
The skilled volunteers weave net bags or paint decorations. Foreign visitors love it too, and often buy items to support our group.
I make these products from trash I collect from the beach, like plastic bottles. I do this for fun and to help protect the earth.
We only came here as tourists, but we fell in love with the island, and there was a responsibility we felt inside our heart that with such a beautiful paradise island, you cannot let it get trashed.
Coming up next in our world news, China unveils new policy measures to boost birth support. And 38% of Earth's plants on the brink of extinction. Now moving on to our world news, China has unveiled new policy measures to promote a birth-friendly society. A directive from the General Office of China's State Council details 13 targeted measures, focusing on enhancing childbirth support services, expanding childcare systems, fostering a birth-friendly social atmosphere, and strengthening support in education, housing, and employment. The new measures also aim to improve the maternity leave system, ensuring the implementation of legally mandated maternity, paternity, and parental leave periods. Additionally, China plans to enhance health education for adolescents to prevent unintended pregnancies and improve early pregnancy and abortion care services. These initiatives come as China entered a population decline phase in 2022, with over 14% of the population now aged 65 or above. 38% of the world's trees are at risk of extinction, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) Red List of threatened species. For the first time, the majority of the world's trees have been listed on the IUCN Red List, revealing that more than 16,000 tree species worldwide face extinction. This number is more than double the number of all threatened birds, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians combined. In South America, home to the majority of the world's trees, 25% face the possibility of extinction, while Africa has far fewer trees. 45% of them are considered to be threatened. The biggest threat to trees around the world is deforestation and loss of habitat due to expanding agriculture, both crops and grazing. Invasive species pose another significant danger, with climate change emerging as a growing threat. The IUCN is calling for forest protection and restoration through tree planting, as well as the conservation of endangered species through seed banks and botanical garden collections. Brazil's Collective Defense Institute has filed 2 lawsuits demanding more than $525 million from the Brazilian units of TikTok, Phie, and Meta platforms for allegedly failing to create mechanisms to prevent indiscriminate use of these social media platforms by minors. The lawsuits are based on a series of studies on the possible damage caused by unsupervised use of social media, especially by children and teenagers. Meanwhile, Facebook and Instagram owner Meta Platforms Incorporation have faced fresh lawsuits in Japan over advertisements that fraudulently solicited investments with fake celebrity endorsements. 30 plaintiffs have been seeking a total of $2.8 million in damages. The plaintiffs viewed the fake advertisements before being directed to transfer money to designated investment accounts. They argue that Meta is obliged to investigate the content of adverts that not allow them to be posted on social media if it can foresee the risk of harm to users. Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.